the Chase Thomas podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Washington's not going to be a great team, so I mean,
to steal a Chase Thomas term, the USC game is a sneaky, huge game, because if they were to lose that game, then who knows what's really going to happen with their season? Like it could go off the rails, like they start 2-2 or something. But
maybe.
I mean, I don't foresee that happening. But like you said, we haven't seen Alex Orji play. There's a lot of dual threat quarterbacks we've seen that are nowhere near the athlete that Jalen Milroe is. So I can't just throw that out there. We'll see what kind of player he is, but we've seen very little of Orji to this point. Just like those little packages for him to come in and run on short yardage and things like that.
Absolutely. Buy or sell. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is at Ohio State to win it all this season. They sell. Ooh. I think Kyle McCord, we just proved that Ohio State can't just have a guy back there. It felt like they could plug anyone in and get elite production, because that's just what they've done since Braxton Miller or JT Barrett. They just, for like a decade straight, every quarterback kind of just has the same type of production, super efficient, most of them dual threats. But Kyle McCord, you just saw what they were. They looked like Penn State a year ago. They looked like Michigan, just kind of, Michigan most years maybe, just kind of that good defense, just kind of an average offense. And even with the best receiver in college football, the offense just wasn't really scary a year ago. So I think Will Howard is better than Kyle McCord. And I know there's been buzz about Julian Sayin, and maybe he's that good that he somehow takes the job, but I still have to give Will Howard the advantage there just based on experience, and he transferred to Ohio State, I would think, for a reason. So I think he can be an even better. I mean, he's good at Kansas State. I think he can be an even better player with Ohio State's supporting cast, but I think they need more than just like a game manager if they're going to win the national title. Yeah, I think it's interesting, because I think what you're talking about I think you may have been able to, it's just funny to think about the Alabama teams of old, where you get away with some okay to below average quarterback and win a national title. And the reason I bring that up is Ohio State is loaded up. They've put so many, you bring in Quinshon Judkins to an already stacked running back room with TreVeyon Henderson. You have this great receiver room. You have an all-time great freshman receiver, Jeremiah Smith. You've got Ibuka back. You've got Carnell Tate, another 5-star in that room. You're loaded. The offensive line should be better than it was a year ago. You bring in Chip Kelly, a sitting Power 5 head coach, to be your OC. Jim Knowles.
Just stupid.
Just insane. But you look at it, everything is elite. 5-star receivers everywhere. 2 superstar running backs. Chip Kelly. The number 2 scoring defense last year. They were the number 1 pass defense a year ago, Matt Green. Everything is stacked up for Ohio State to be the best team in college football this year. And yet, if I was a Buckeye fan, I would be sweating every day reading these reports about the quarterback room. Where Will Howard, Devin Brown, Julian Sayin, who, by the way, can we not call him a transfer? He was at Alabama for a month and never really why are we doing this? Quinn Ewers wasn't really a transfer. I don't like how we're doing that, because I think he left senior. It was just weird timing where I'm we're getting really liberal with the word transfer, and it's gonna annoy me when Julian Sayin's playing quarterback for Ohio State that he's a transfer, and it's no, he was there for a month and committed to Saban, and before he even got to campus, then he flips.
It's throwing off the portal rankings to seeing Saban on there and Caden Proctor. It's let's just pretend Caden Proctor's never in the portal at all.
I agree. It's very silly, but that's a side thing. But the fact that it could be all 3 at Ohio State this year, all 3 might get in based on play, is wild. I think it's just so weird, and I love that that's a problem at Ohio State this year, because it's going to make Ohio State games must watch throughout the regular season. It's we're going to know if Ohio State can win a national title in the regular season, because one of these guys is going to have to play like a Heisman type, because what we've seen in modern college football, you've got to have an elite quarterback. He's got to be playing at a Heisman level, especially to win multiple playoff games against top-end competition. You can't get by with what they had at Kyle McCord last year. You can't. It's going to be even harder this year.
So I just wonder what Will Howard's upside. Can he be that guy? Maybe. Can Devin Brown, the former 4-star, has been there forever, can he figure it out? If not, are they going to go with a true freshman, super talented kid in Julian Sayin? I think it's so interesting that they're so loaded up winning it all this year. And the one area that is super ambiguous right now that I think zero Ohio State fans feel great about, maybe more optimistic than last year, but they don't feel great. It's just kind of wild. And it's the most important position on the team at quarterback. I love that that's Ohio State's weird thing this year.
It's just foreign territory for Ohio State. Like their quarterbacks, they're the ones that have the guys transfer and go win Heisman somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't get their guys from Kansas State. Like we're Ohio State. Why are we getting a quarterback from Kansas State? We should be above that. So I could understand Ohio State fan being a little nervous about that, but like you're saying, you're nervous about that, kind of going back to that Georgia conversation we were having, like, because the only thing you care about is winning a national title. So you're not judging a quarterback. It's like, oh, is this guy good? Is he bad? Can he win us a national title? That's all we want to know. So, maybe I think Will Howard with that supporting cast, Ohio State, could definitely be better than he was at Kansas State. But also, as a side note, like Quinshon Judkins, people are going to be so disappointed when they watch him play this season. Like this video game stuff is just taking the Quinshon Judkins hype like off the rails. Like he's turning into like Tecmo Super Bowl Bo Jackson over here. Like people are going to be really disappointed when his spin move is not just like a cheat code and he doesn't score a touchdown every time he touches it.
I love it. Buy or sell. USC is being slept on, and Oregon is overrated.
I think I have to sell both of these because I'm looking at USC, and I mean, like, do we even like?
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.